Everyone is building AI agents right now. But what if your AI agents could actually interact with your browsers, just like human beings? Imagine your AI agent opening a website, navigating through it, clicking buttons, and extracting data automatically. Tools like BrowserAct are changing the way we and AI agents interact with the web. In this video, I'll show you how BrowserAct works and how you can combine it with Google's Gemini CLI to actually build browser autonomous agents. You don't have to write code or leverage APIs. All you have to do is tell it what to do. So, what actually is BrowserAct? Let's talk about it. Alright, so I'm in BrowserAct right now, and I have a problem that I want to build upon. Let's say I want to buy a particular product on Amazon.com and I want to buy it at the best price possible. So how can I build a workflow for myself which runs by itself and provides me the pricing of that particular product, more like a price tracker? So how can I build something like that using the components that BrowserAct offers? So let's go ahead and explore it. So when you go to BrowserAct.com, you would find three options that you can leverage. You can build an AI workflow for yourself. You can integrate it with the existing workflow builders like Anyten.com or Make.com. And if you're building your server yourself, you can use the API keys provided by the platform. So AI Workflow Builder is very simple. Let's go ahead and see what it has to offer. All right, so it starts with a start node, and you can provide your input parameter. You can provide certain credentials that you want this workflow to use at each run. So more like, different variables, you can define it here. And within the output format, obviously you want to use JSON. In our case, I want a list of products with their pricing and their sellers. So if you hit add here, you would see a couple of options. For example, you can control and build steps by yourself. If you want to visit a particular page, and on that page, if you want to click a particular item, hover a particular item, if you want to input some text, so you have quite a lot of different controls here. So pretty powerful, pretty flexible, but I already have a workflow built for myself. So I'll go and walk you guys through it. So I've named it Amazon product prices, and this is a workflow that fetches top 20 searches based on a dynamic input product. So in our case, I would just put in Blue Yeti and let's hit run. The best thing about this platform is that you would see a live browser right here, which is implementing all the steps that you have told it. For example, it goes to Amazon.com, it would see a button that says continue shipping, it would click that button, and then it would land on the landing page. It would find the search Amazon input bar and put in Blue Yeti microphone nano in there, something that we have provided dynamically, just like that. It would go ahead and perform the search and scrape all these items and provide you in a JSON format. So once you have all this list, you can build upon your solution from there. Okay, so our workflow has run and here is our output. So this is in a tabular format and this looks pretty neat, right? So in terms of the workflow, let me walk you guys through it. So we start with the start node and I mentioned the product name. So it's very easy to build. That's what I want to demonstrate. So you start with the product name. The output is JSON. You visit Amazon.com and then you click a particular button that says continue shopping. You wait for 5 minutes and then you extract all the data from the page that is shown to you, which is the product pricing page, right? So you fetch all the data and you present it in a JSON format. Awesome. So I have a workflow now, but I want to build a cron job and I want to build a custom logic upon this solution or upon this workflow. I want to write a script that goes through it and saves it with a timestamp or date and notifies me if the prices drop. So how can I build it? Obviously, I cannot do it within this platform, but I can use the workflow in itself. But for that, I would need an API key. So what I can do, I can go back to home and you can build your API keys or create your API keys right here. So within the Manage API Key section, I've already created a bunch for myself. All right, so I've got these two scripts which help you leverage the workflow that you guys just saw. So let me walk you guys through it very quickly. So first I'm importing the packages. I'm importing the request package. It just helps me call the BrowserAct API. and I'm importing the .env package, which helps me load my environment variables, in this case, the BrowserAct API key. Then I'm just fetching my API key. I'm defining my workflow ID. So you'll find the workflow ID right here. You can just hit this copy button and use it within your code. All right, so next I'm using the API key, which helps me run this particular task. I'm defining my payload over here, and this is my product name. I want to search on Blue Yeti Microphone Nano, and I'm defining my headers right here. My API key goes here, and I'm just fetching the response and printing it out. So once you actually hit it, your task would run async. So what I mean by that is, let's say you go ahead and create main.py. So you would get an ID. So this is your task ID. Now this task can be, you have to copy this, go to pull.py. So this actually pulls your task, whether it's complete or not, because it's going on async. So it's not completed yet. So in this case, you would actually paste your task ID here. Again, now we're hitting the API, which actually get this particular task. We're just providing it with task ID right here. The rest is pretty much the same. We're hitting the API, we're fetching in the response, and whatever the response is, we're dumping into the price.json. Cool, so I got a response, and here it is, and it's saved to price.json. Now with this data, I can build any sort of logic that can help me choose the best product at the best price, given the best ratings. So I think that would be the topmost pick because it's 93.99. Oh, I have one on 55.99 as well. But you guys get the drill, right? Traditionally, if you wanted to automate your browsers, you had to use tools like Selenium and Playwright. And you had to write code, leverage APIs, handle selectors, and if your website changed, everything changes. So here are a couple of examples. Make Instagram template scraper, Google Map scraper, make google.com sheet scraper. So there are a couple of examples that you can check out here. And you can go to their GitHub page and explore their recent offerings, which is Skills, which is also very popular lately if you're using the Claude Code ecosystem, or you use developer CLIs like Gemini itself. So here you'll find a lot of different skills targeting different platforms. To install it, all you have to do is scroll a bit down and you'll find this particular command. So you copy this, let's paste this. So once your skill is installed, I would go ahead and run Gemini, and this would actually open up my Gemini CLI. And within the CLI, I can later on explore that if I have access to that skill and how I can use that skill. So let's go ahead and do /skills. And here I can see the list of all the skills that are available. And at the top, I see BrowserAct, Browser Automation CLI for AI agent with anti-detection stealth browsing. So now we are in the Gemini CLI and we have the BrowserAct skill installed. This particular skill has access to a particular LLM, which would actually break down your prompt and convert it into to-dos of how your prompt would be converted and mapped into a series of steps through which it can access a particular browser or access a particular website or navigate a particular website. So once that is done, it would actually create a session within a headless browser. So in this particular case, I've put in the icon of Chromium itself. Now the Chromium will launch those websites that you want to target, which are here. It can be more than one web pages, and it would develop that interaction right here. So this is how the architecture of BrowserAct actually works. So coming back to our CLI. So my prompt is find the top 20 posts about AI automation this week from Reddit, Hacker News, and Product Hunt. Whoa. Hold just a minute. ChatGPT does the very same thing. All you have to do is enable the web search feature in it, provide your prompt, and it would do the rest. So this is how web search feature works with ChatGPT. The web itself is a collection of ranked pages. Whenever you go and search a particular term in Google or any search engine, the results that you get are already ranked by Google itself or the respective search engine. In this particular case, when ChatGPT uses web search, it just leverages the power of that particular search engine to grab those ranked pages. And once it does that, it filters and generates summaries and presents it to you. On the other hand side, web scraping is a totally different thing. In web scraping, you don't need all of the web and all of the ranked topics. You just need selective websites from where you want to scrape that data from. So you host your code, which is a normal code. It can be Python script or even Node script. Within the script, you have to direct the path to actually get that data from or to perform a particular action. And for that, you have to target specific sections of the web pages. And for that, you have to denote it in a certain way. And there are 2 ways listed here in which you can do that. Let's go ahead and run this. So it has prompted, I'll use the existing researcher browser with ID this to search Reddit for the top AI automation post. So this probably directs to the stealth browsing happening right now. And there we see it. It's fetching a couple of HTML tags. Oh, this one is interesting. I'll use the solve CAPTCHA command to bypass the prove your humanity check on Reddit. So that's actually the benefit of stealth browsing. It can bypass directly where normal web search won't. Alright, so we have our final results based on my research from Reddit, Hacker News, Product Hunt. For the week of April 5 to 12, 2026, here are the top 20 posts and products related to AI automation. Alright, so that's how you can use BrowserAct as a skill. So if you're using Claude Code, you can do the very same. I'm a bit biased about Gemini CLI. It's part of my daily workflow, so I just use it for the sake of demonstration. Alright, so what can you actually build out of this? You can build almost anything that can be automated within a browser. You can build your own web scraping tools that doesn't need code. You can build your own pricing tracking system. You can build your own lead generation engine. You can build your own research automated assistants. So in a world of building AI agents today, learning BrowserAct can be a huge advantage because it sort of bridges the gap between AI agents and automating stuff in the browser, especially when we are in an age where we're delegating tasks to our AI agents through building skills, MCP servers, and different tools. Alright folks, I hope you liked the video. Make sure you subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.